Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, grab your drink and sit down because I am physically shaking right now. You know how I've been feeling lately, right? Just really going through it with my mental health and feeling like a total mess. And you know how Maya has been literally the only person I've been leaning on. The one person I thought was my absolute rock, my safe haven, the mom friend of the century. Well, throw that entire concept into the trash. Light it on fire. Because I think I just realized I'm not her friend. I'm her pet project. Or worse, her entertainment. I need you to listen to this conversation we had last night, because it has been replaying in my head on a loop for the last 12 hours, and I feel like I'm in the beginning of a horror movie. You know, the part where the protagonist realizes the call is coming from inside the house. That's me. Right now. So, it was late, and I was having one of those nights where my brain just wouldn't shut off. I was texting Maya, just venting a little bit. Nothing too heavy, just the usual. I feel like a burden 2 a.m. thoughts. And usually she's so supportive. She sends the heart emojis, she tells me I'm valid, all that therapy speak she's so good at. But then the vibe just shifted. It got weirdly philosophical, but in a dark way. Out of nowhere, she texts me. Sometimes I think that I'm like a magnet for broken people. I stared at my phone for a second. Broken people. That's a hell of a way to describe your friends, right? It stung a little, I'm not gonna lie. It felt like she was categorizing me, but being my insecure self, I just texted back, maybe, trying to keep it light, trying to give her space to explain. And she replies, they're the only kind I'm able to talk to, and she literally typed out the word, sigh. Like it was this heavy cross she had to bear, being surrounded by damaged goods. At this point, I'm feeling guilty. I'm thinking, oh God, I'm exhausting her. I'm too much. So I asked her, why do you think so? I genuinely wanted to know why she felt attracted to people who are struggling. I thought she was going to say something sweet like, because I just want to help. Girl, no. She types for a second and says, it's just easier with you all and more interesting. Easier. Interesting. My stomach did this little flip, not the good kind. The kind you get when you realize you've walked into a room you weren't supposed to be in. Calling my trauma interesting felt clinical, like I was a bug under a microscope. I typed back, what do you mean? Because I needed her to clarify immediately. I was praying she meant interesting as in deep or complex. But then the 3 dots bubbled for a long, long time. And when the text finally came through, I felt the blood drain from my face. She said, oh, I wish you knew how much I love listening to these stories and reliving them. Relive them, not help you through them. Not support you. She loves to listen and relive. It sounded so voyeuristic, like she was getting a high off my misery. Like my panic attacks and depressive episodes are just a Netflix series for her to binge watch. I suddenly felt so exposed. All those times I cried on her shoulder. She wasn't comforting me, she was consuming it. She was eating it up like popcorn. I didn't even know what to say, I was frozen. Then she starts typing again and she says, I immediately feel myself like, and she just stopped. She didn't finish the phrase. I'm staring at the screen like, what? You feel like what, Maya? A savior, a god, superior? It was so ominous. It was like she caught herself saying the quiet part out loud. The silence in the chat was deafening. I felt like I was talking to a stranger. Then she starts typing a paragraph, a literal wall of text. And she starts dumping this backstory on me that I've never heard before. She tells me that she was always seeking approval from her family. Classic, right? But she twisted it. She said that if her family doesn't give her that approval, she goes looking for it herself with, and these are her words, those who deem her a good person. Do you hear the narcissism in that? She's not helping people because she cares. She's helping people because she needs us, the broken ones, to look at her with big, teary doe eyes and tell her she's an angel. She's farming us for validation. She needs us to be messed up so she can be the savior. If we're okay, she has no purpose. And then it gets worse. She adds that normal people are so plain and boring. She literally said they don't have anything to them at all. Can you believe that? If you're mentally stable, if you have a happy family and a good life, Maya thinks you're worthless because you're not spicy enough for her drama addiction. It made me feel like a circus freak. Like she keeps me around because I'm a spectacle. But the part that actually scared me, like, legitimately gave me the creeps to the point where I want to lock my doors, was when she brought up that guy from college. You know him, the tall one, kinda quiet? I think his name is Liam. She's been crushing on him for months, or so I thought. Then she sent the text that made my blood run cold. She texted, "I'm still trying to get closer to him. One day I really want to find him in such a depressed condition, a condition where he would really need someone." I literally dropped my phone. I had to pick it up and reread it 3 times to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. She wants to find him in a depressed condition. She isn't hoping he notices her. She isn't hoping for a nice date. She is actively fantasizing about this perfectly nice, functioning human being hitting rock bottom. She wants him broken, crying, desperate, and alone just so she can swoop in and be the hero. She wants him to really need someone. That is predatory, isn't it? That is straight-up predatory behavior. It's like a vulture circling a healthy animal, just waiting for it to get sick so she can feast. Who wishes depression on their crush? Who looks at a guy they like and thinks, "God, I hope he has a mental breakdown so I can be the only one he trusts." It's giving misery. It's giving Kathy Bates. If she dates him and he gets the flu, she's gonna be the type to hide his medicine just so she can nurse him longer. I felt so sick. I felt dirty by association, because suddenly I'm looking at our entire friendship through this lens. When I went through that breakup last year and was a mess for months, I thought she was there because she loved me. But now I think she was just loving the show. She was loving that I couldn't get out of bed without calling her. It made her feel powerful. It explains so much, like how whenever I start doing better, she gets a little distant. Or she makes those little passive-aggressive comments like last week when I said I was feeling optimistic and she said, "Don't get your hopes up too high, I don't want you to crash again." I thought she was being protective. No. She was trying to keep me down. She needs me broken. If I'm fixed, I'm boring. And as I was sitting there, staring at my phone, not knowing what to say, her name popped up again. She was typing, and I had a feeling she knew she'd just said way too much. She must have sensed she went too far because she immediately backtracked, sending a follow-up text that just read, "My mental condition is not the reason I'm friends with you at all, by the way. I love you for you." Lies. Absolute lies. The damage control was so transparent. You can't just tell me you find normal people boring and that you collect broken people like Pokemon, and then say my trauma has nothing to do with our friendship. It has everything to do with it. I am the supply. I haven't responded since then. I just left her on read. I can't stop thinking about it. I feel used, like I've been emotionally strip-mined. And I'm actually terrified for that guy from college. Should I warn him? Should I just text him? "Hey, stay away from the girl with the savior complex. She's manifesting your downfall so she can bake you cookies while you cry." I don't know if I can look her in the eye again. How do I sit across from her at lunch knowing she's looking at my problems and thinking, "Delicious, more drama, keep it coming"? Am I overreacting? Please tell me I'm not crazy. Because she phrased it like this profound confession of her own insecurities, trying to make me feel sorry for her. But all I see is a vampire. She's an emotional vampire, and I think she's been draining me dry for 2 years. I'm scared, girl. I'm scared that if I actually heal, she'll try to break me again just to keep me interesting. Or she'll just discard me like a toy she's bored with. And honestly, I don't know which one is worse. What do I do? Do I ghost her? Do I confront her? She literally admitted to preying on vulnerable people. I adore broken people. Who says that? It sounds like a line from a villain in a teen drama right before they push someone down the stairs. I just feel like I don't even know who she is anymore. The girl who held my hand when I was crying is actually the girl who was getting off on the fact that I was crying. That is so twisted. I need you to tell me exactly what to text back, because right now, I want to block her on everything and move to a different state. Is that something I should be concerned about? Because I feel like I should be calling the police or an exorcist or something. This is not normal friend behavior. This is psycho behavior. Tell me I'm right. Please, tell me I'm right.